age 61, after a workplace injury and emotional breakdown ended the healthcare career she loved, Yvonne Franklin built an online wellness business from scratch with no tech background, no marketing experience, no advertising budget. And today, you'll learn how she turned adversity into action, created an entire digital ecosystem in just a few months, and why a 12-second pause may help you more than some other complicated wellness routine. We're here on the Marketer of the Day podcast with Robert Plank. We're brought to you by dfypodcast.com, where we handle the editing, publishing, and promotion so you can focus on meaningful conversations. And today's meaningful conversation is all about things like the mindful reset, taking action on your ideas, and how to deal with these complicated obstacles called your own emotions. It's so easy and tempting to fall into the pit of despair and have the negative self-talk and have the discouragement. But hey, we're not here for that, right? We're here to figure out some solutions with the help of Miss Yvonne Franklin. So how are you today?
I'm great, thanks, Robert. How are you?
I'm fabulous. I have a lot to do. Some days I look at that calendar and I'm like, I've got all these meetings and I have two choices, right? I could say, well, I have to do this, or I could say I get to do this. And I'm so excited to chat with you because I learn something every single one of these podcasts, right? And sometimes it's like a relearning a lesson or something that like one little nugget kind of just gets me right into action. So I'm excited to figure out some of this from you. And what do you think maybe I left out of that bio? We talked about a few subjects, but what should we know about you?
Well, after 30 years of working, day in, day out, a lot of night shifts, which that's what I worked. Um, it takes a toll on the body, um, mentally and physically. Um, and I learned a lot from people and life itself in that journey. Um, Taking away from caring at the bedside, and just walking into people's homes, and talking with them. A lot of times we just sat and talked. We didn't do the care. They said that, well, that can wait. They just like, one-on-one time with somebody, right? Just to talk or sit there, watch TV or anything. And when you leave there, you listen to them and you leave, you get a sense, of you really get to know the person, and you really get a different perspective of life. It does change you. So you take away from that, and after all these years of that, and I changed different scenario, like worked in hospital and I got injured. So from there, um, unfortunately, physically, I can't return to some of the stuff I used to do, help people, and uh, mobility wise and stuff. So I had to change tactics. So taking all of that, what I learned, and I says, well, I've always wanted to do something and pass it along, pay it forward, right? So I'm thinking, going, well, what do I have that I can bring to the table, that I can offer somebody out there that's listening, you know, nothing grand gesture, just something that everyday life people will utilize or could utilize, right? So all of a sudden, I went through a major depression, and type of mini nervous breakdown. I shut down. I didn't want to see anybody. I hid away. I did. I actually hid away. I didn't care anymore. That's how bad I got to. And through that, I woke up one day in February of this year, and something just hit me and said, okay, it's time to do what you wanted to do, what you wanted to put out there. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm sitting in my chair and I'm going, what can I do? Right? And it just popped in my head all of a sudden, and I started writing. I had been hearing about AI, like Copilot and ChatGPT. So And Microsoft has Copilot. So I started with Copilot, just testing the waters, right? And so I typed a few sentences in, and this is what I was thinking, and away we went. That's how it all started. Then I come across another platform, um, and they were advertising a workshop. So it was a free 4-day workshop. So I took that, and it's called Buildyai.ai. And I'm going, okay, so you had like a 10-day credit thing that you could start. And then after that, it's a membership. So all you do is talk to this thing. No coding, no nothing whatsoever. And it was like, oh my God, no coding, no building a website, just talking to this or typing. That's it. And it builds everything for you. Your email sequences, your ads. It helps you build ads and helps you do marketing, actually. It does research. It helps you bid your workbooks, guides. Oh, I'm phenomenal. So I got that. And then I got into other programs and I started learning how to do this journey of online tools that at 61 years old. It can be confusing building a website, getting a domain, hosting, uh, you know, trying to put your stuff online. Where do I put it? How do I put it? Do I have to download here? Oops. What tool am I supposed to use? Like if you have no coding, no nothing, no idea whatsoever, this is great. So yeah, so this is how it all started. And I just built from there. So now I have the main foundation, which is the mindful reset. And then from there, I'm in partial build of uh, the personal touch online, which is the inner shift. That's the next step of the mindful reset. It goes in deeper. And then I also have the platform of Buildyai, where I promote Buildyai as an affiliate. Okay. And also I offer a guide of how to be able to use Buildy for non-techie people that don't know how to build it, build a website or use the platform. And from there, this is my journey. And I'm still building. I just finished a book. I just finished a course, actually. Within the past week, I just put a course together for the mindful reset. I'm always working, always striving, always trying to make things better and think of things that I can put out to help people. Whether it's just talking to them like I am now with you, Robert, or just a simple thing online that they can go to anytime, anywhere. Like the model for it is, this was built for that. You're allowed to come back. Yeah.
Well, so it's easy to make excuses, and a lot of people do, right? They say, "Oh, I'm too old. I'm too tired. I didn't grow up with this. I'm technically illiterate." But you said, "Hey, well, you figure out a way, right? You get some goals, and you find the right tool, and you make some progress." And when we met, and you're like you're like a spokesperson for Buildy as well, right? Because you're doing the affiliate stuff. So we met, and you talked to me about Buildy, and I went to the website and got retargeted with the ads, and I saw the face of Mr. Bill McIntosh, who I go back like 20 years with him. So it's just cool to see how there's sometimes there's familiar faces, and he bought out one of my companies so many years ago, and I spent a couple days with him on a marketer's cruise, but this was decades ago. So it's a good feeling that there's you worry that AI will make things more complicated, but then it's like what this platform in particular seems to have just made it simpler, so that way anyone can use it, right? You just talk to it and it builds it for you. And so what if you created exactly, there's the mindful reset with a quiz, and you say there's membership site and book, but what's the starting point? Where should someone kind of begin their journey with you?
Okay, so we do have on post, when I post on Facebook and everything else, it all leads back to the quiz. There is a quiz that you can take excuse me, there's a quiz you can take, and with that, you go through the questions, and then once you're done the questions, you'll get your result. And you'll also get an email as well of your results, and just a little inspiration and where you can go from there. A suggestion, what you could do, right?
Okay.
I don't push anything on anybody. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. Yes, I'm a certified PS personal support worker and healthcare aide. Okay, that is my clinical profession. But other than that, I'm not no wellness guru or anything, or I don't claim to be either. I'm just a simple person that's lived experience and taking that knowledge along with my PSW of 30 years working in the healthcare and life experience actually, and putting it out there, packaging it and putting it out there for people to have a look if they want. It's there for anybody. Overstressed workers, professionals, moms, stay-at-home dads, anybody that might be overwhelmed, needs a moment to breathe, anything like that. Like it's nothing like the typical meditation and that. It's great for people that want to go that route. I love it. Okay, I have a few myself. I use. Okay, right. But this is something simple. It's a 2-minute. Like I have pocket resets where you can print off and put in your pocket, and it's a reflection and an affirmation on the other side. I also have,
Very cool.
yeah, I have that. I have a guide that you can download. I have a workbook that you can download, and this is different types of resets. Like you have your emotional, your rational, your inspirational, your mindset reset, mindful reset, different types. I think there's about six of them. And I have different things and what they are and what you can use them for, and possible 1-2 minute. That's it. Stuff you can utilize, stuff you can do. Like you can take a deep breath. So your shoulders are going up, right? So you're crowding. So you're nervous. Your heart is racing. You're going up. So as soon as you exhale and bring that out, you notice your jaw dropping and your chin going down, right? You're relaxing. You're pushing all that negative out of you. You're relaxing. You're getting rid of, right? So while you're focusing on that, okay, you're not focusing on what you were doing. So you take a minute, 2 minutes, maybe, do that, and then go back to what you're doing. And when you finally go back to what you're doing, you're in a better frame of mind, and it helps relax you a little bit. I'm not asking for nothing major, and I don't claim to be like, for anybody that has a mental health problem or anything, please seek clinical help, because this is not for that. Okay, I don't correct, and I don't fix you. Okay, I don't claim to do that. Okay, this is just simple 2-minute, 5-minute. There's reading material that you can pick up for a workbook that you can go through, a bedside book that you can keep there, a guide. That's all what this is.
Okay, so you have some new techniques and some ways to change the channel and to kind of take a few minutes vacation mentally and then come back to what you're doing renewed and refreshed with a better perspective and with some more energy. And so you've mentioned about some of these many excellent things that you've built, right? You've built like the book and the quiz and the course. And then I know that when you make anything, the slowest and hardest part is getting people to actually use it, right? And so do you have anything to share about that? Like, has it been tough getting members? Have the members been flowing in? What's that part of the journey been like, getting people to use what you've created?
Well, I'm using the Buildyai platform, and right now I'm doing it all free through posting ads on social media, word of mouth, and stuff like that. Because right now I'm just starting, so I don't work, like I said, I'm off on sick long-term disability from work. Okay, so I'm limited budget and everything, so I don't have a whole lot of money to spend. Okay, so I've been doing it through posting, through Buildy. He makes the ads marketing part of it. He builds ads for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, X. Can I say Pinterest? A bunch of them. Anyways, and I forget what else. Anyways, and so we schedule posts, and we do different things. We do carousels and ad posts, and then I also reach out to different other platforms, and I make my own posts. I make little sayings, and I make my own little videos and stuff that I put out there myself as well. I'm in the process right now of applying for a grant, applying for some grants for funding for small business and women entrepreneurs in my area, which I live in Canada, Ontario, Canada, to help with marketing and building this a little more, right? Because it's in pre-revenue, right? So that means that I'm just starting, right?
Yeah.
So I have to, get out there, and this is another way of me being able to help with my business, get it up and going, being able to promote it a little bit more. That course that I put together just this past week, being able to do a actually printable version, and eventually the marketing aspect, I want to approach businesses and do help do training, do webinars and webinars of what I am promoting here, and explain it so people will understand, actually see me physically, because that's how I promote my stuff. When you look at my stuff, I'm talking to you as if I'm right there beside you. A lot of my promotion, a lot of my workbooks, quizzes and stuff, I talk to you like a human being. I talk to you as if I'm right there beside you, talking to you as a friend or companion, guiding you through this, supporting you while you're going through the reads or the book, or even the quiz, or reading the blogs. It's as if I'm right there with you. And that is, you, like I said, you don't have to do this alone. And I put it in that context where you feel like you matter. You come to my site, even if you just look around for 2 seconds and browse, you come to my site and it's like a breath of fresh air to a point. I'm not sure what other people think. I don't know quite yet, but most, I have had a few, I shouldn't say that. Actually, I've had a few people that have said they like my site. I might even have a friend that's thinking about investing in my business.
Cool.
So it's progressed, and I've had a few people reach out and do want to collaborate with me, partnership with me. I'm not ready to take it to that step yet, because I'm only starting, right? I have a lot more work to do yet, right? I have this, so yeah.
But you're working on it every day, and so there's so much I want to know about you, right? I'm curious about the secret to your success and what you've learned along the way. But a podcast is limited time, right? And we want people kind of wanting more. So in these last few minutes of our conversation, it's kind of up to you, as far as, like, you mentioned a little bit about what's next, but I'm just curious about, like, what you think is, like, unique about you and what you've accomplished, or if you think there might be a missing question in our conversation that I should be asking you, I just don't know to ask you. So what do you think? What do you think people should know just about you, or what am I missing out on as far as asking the right question from you?
People in society today, they are so fast. Society is so fast paced and everything else, and people don't get time. Okay, both parents usually have to work just to make ends meet and everything else. Okay, so what my objective here is the mindful reset, and what I am putting together is not only, I guess it's not only for overstressed people overwhelmed. In a roundabout way, it's for everyone. The reason why I say that is because of the fast-paced society we live in. We don't have time to do this. We don't have time to do that. This is actually a 2-minute to 5-minute. And when on those moments in the evening or you have a moment during the day, you can take a workbook, you can take a guide, you can take a blog or a series that I have on here. And some of it is printable, right? And you can do it at your leisure. And what it does is actually helps the person relax and come back to themselves or what they have lost along the way and now in our busy society. It helps them reconnect with themselves. And that is the main thing. We need to reconnect with ourselves to be able to move forward, to give a better life to and help along our children, anybody along their journey. I mean, you if you feel lost or I don't think it's the word. I'm trying to find the words, and overwhelmed, stressed, don't feel like yourself. This is kind of like a type of guide and website that will help that way. It helps you connect with yourself, come back to yourself. You stop and think and look at the broader picture of things and say, okay, I can fit this. If I do this, this will be more better. It helps me reprogram your mind in a way, but not subtly, not majorly, okay, and harshly. And it actually helps you along your journey.
Very cool. It's a much needed resource. And so we say that that's at themindfulreset.com, and reset is spelled REZSET. And when you go there, you can find out that quiz. And I mean, what's a good next step after listening to this podcast? Is it go to that quiz, or is there a better place to visit?
There's all kinds of avenues that you can go into. Once you can even come to the site direct. Okay, you can go to the store, which is the Mindful Reset /store/blog /quiz. Right? There's different landing pages you can go to. Also, I have the Etsy store, which I'm just building, which is your reset moments .etsy.com. I think I believe that's what it is.
Or
And I have
resetyourmoments.etsy.com.
Yeah, I believe that's what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Resetyourmoments.etsy.com. Okay.
Okay, perfect. I wasn't too sure. I was hoping I got it right. A lot to
You did.
remember.
Yeah.
So I have a book there. It's called Your Reset Begins Here. It's a great big book, but it's 107 pages. But that book it tells you what a reset is. It walks you through from beginning to end. But when I look at that book, I say, you do not have to do it all at once. Do it in increments. Take your time. Reflect on what you've learned in there, because you will have grab a pen and paper as well when you're going through it, because you'll want to jot down notes. You'll want to jot down stuff because it gives you an aha moment, right? It's Even I go back through it myself. Like, I utilize this stuff myself, right? Because I'm in awe of what I put out, for one. For two, it actually helps me as well.
Nice.
I use my own work, right?
Cool.
And I have a friend, his name is Brent, and he he laughs. He goes, "We're talking away," and then he says, well, I just had, I just had a moment, and I thought, and then it's like, it was a mindful reset moment, right? I had to laugh because, like, he's into the mindful reset, right? My other friend is into mindful reset. Okay. She utilizes certain things out of it. Like, I have a blog series. I have another series where When thoughts become things. It's a beautiful little journey. And it's blogs. It's let me see. It's welcome to a quiet place to pause, breathe, and come back to yourself. It's reflection series. It's a reflection series. I think it's six in total.
Yeah.
And I wrote I wrote this as a book, and when I did this, we turned it into a blog, reflection blogs, reflection series. And when thoughts become things, because if you think of that title, what do you take away from that?
That I can be in control and I can change what my thoughts are.
Exactly. Because the thing is, your thoughts, when they become things and they're taking over what you really want to do, and you have to go down that path. No, you can change that. That's a mindful reset, right?
Yeah.
And there's different types. There's 6 different journeys you can take. That's just one of the things on the website that you can go to. The other one, let me see. We have a podcast on there. Okay. It's tiny resets for an overwhelmed mind. What that explains is the whole business. It explains my whole website, my whole concept, exactly what it's all about. It explains the 2-minute video that I put out, I give, and there are videos on here. So that explains the business in itself.
Well, very cool. So the starting point we said is themindfulreset.com, and from there you can go to the store, the quiz, the blog, the podcast, and you can check out everything that Yvonne is talking about. And it's just so impressive, everything that you've built in just a few months. I can only imagine where you'll be in a few months from now. And so as we're checking out themindfulreset.com, and that's reset with a Z, so REZSET.com, it's time for the scary part of the podcast, Miss Yvonne, where I try to stump you. I try to put you on the spot by asking about a fun or interesting quote or lesson that has served you. So what comes to mind as far as a quote or lesson?
Okay. Well, the mantra that I go by, and I've always been positive. I always try to stay positive. The mantra you'll see on my website throughout, you are allowed to come back. This is built for that. Your life, you're allowed to come back. And it's built for that. Anything, you're allowed to come back. It is built for that. You can use that. You can use that mantra any which way when you think about it, and what comes to mind? Yes, I can. Yes, I can come back to that. Yes, I'm allowed to come back. You can do, you set your mind. It's a mindful reset. You set your mind to things, you can do it. It's just pace yourself, take your time, don't overwhelm and stress. Breathe.
It can be that simple. Yes.
Breathe.
Yes, go ahead and breathe. Well, you're so wise, Miss Yvonne, and I'm glad that we had this discussion and learned a few things from you. And this is only the beginning, right? Because if you jotted down a few notes or got some ahas from what we mentioned in the podcast, well, just you wait until you see what's in store for you at themindfulreset.com. And the other links we mentioned, we'll have them underneath the podcast. And Miss Yvonne Franklin, it's been quite an education, and thank you for doing what you do and for taking the time today.
Thank you, Robert, and great to be here.